Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls! Bound Compass is proud to present to you the finale of the amazing adventures of Captain Farr Novarider and the Wild Horses! Part 2, brought to you by...
They claimed it was safe. They claimed it was user-friendly. They were wrong. Were you or a loved one injured in a Celeperer-related accident? Did you feel betrayed or lied to by the Celeperer's false claims of safety or customer satisfaction? Sure, we all did. My name is Ron Leahy of Ron Leahy and Associates Law Firm, and you could be entitled to take part in a class action lawsuit against the makers of the Celeperer. Call our toll-free number, and for just 6 easy payments of $19.99, you could receive up to a $100 cash settlement. Call today and receive this free egg timer. Ron Leahy and Associates Law Firm. Fighting for the money you are entitled to.
And now look forward, good listeners, to the fantastical year of 2012 AD, to the year of the Great Royal Confederation of Stars, to when humankind is expanded outward into the great beyond. We have reached thousands of planets, spanning hundreds of light years in any direction, and still we reach farther. Intrepid colonists brave the great empty expanses of the undiscovered galaxy to forge a new era for the betterment of humankind on countless worlds, moons, and space stations. It is to this new frontier where we turn our ears. Tonight's story is The Exiled Titan.
Captain, we're getting a few contacts on long-range scanner. They're intermittent, but they're definitely there.
Can you tell the size, Commander Downinger?
Cruisers, maybe. It looks to be 2 of them.
Right. It looks like...
We've got company! Boom! Firsties!
Damn it, Hollander!
What? You guys get to say all the cool stuff all the time!
What if I wasn't going to say that, What would have you done then?
Said it anyway?
Bah, Philistine. Ashlyn, my lovely little minx, could you join us on the bridge?
On my way.
Right. This changes things. Can you tell what they're doing, Downinger?
They don't appear to be moving, Captain. They're just waiting there.
They're following us. Who's following us? If my suspicions are correct, Baron Galabrax. Who?
Baron who we've crossed swords with on more than one occasion. He seems to have it out for Captain Novarider.
And let's not forget, Tennyson Rixel is working with Galabrax to find this vault of yours. Can you handle them? Of course, my love. Please stop calling me that. Of course, my love. Never fear. I've defeated Galabrax 12 times or more. In fact, it's getting a bit sad. He'll be of no concern.
Except that one time that he beat us, and that time I went crazy.
Shut up, Hollander. You're making me look bad.
Just saying.
Rosen, how long do we have to wait before we've expelled our inertia from that last super tachyon jump?
Another 6 hours or so.
And if my calculations are correct, it's just one last jump. Good.
If you don't mind me asking, Captain Aphelion, but where are you taking us? We're so deep in unknown space, none of our star charts are any good.
We're looking for a rogue gas giant, more specifically one of its moons. The giant was knocked out of its original orbit an eon ago and has been falling through the galaxy ever since. That moon is where our vault is. Not that I would ever doubt you, my beauty, but I totally am. How can you be sure that you're correct? Well, I used a calculator. That's the best I can offer for reassurances. The initial data that Regan and I found in the ruins was very detailed. The biggest challenge was trying to rewind the various gravitational pulls that would have affected the rogue giant, and figuring out when they would have affected it. I won't lie, Captain Novarider. If my calculations are off, even in the slightest, there will be no planet, and there will be no vault. I will have led you on a wild goose chase for nothing.
And assuming the moon is still there?
It will be the only one with a breathable atmosphere, as far as I can tell. The moon will have an ancient fortress on its surface, a fortress that belonged to a legendary pirate in that civilization. Within that fortress is a vault, and within that vault...
treasure.
Riches.
Edward James almost trading cards. What? A girl can dream, can't she?
We'll have to wait to find out.
Board now!
Patience, Baron. We need Ashlyn and the crew of the Cavallina to lead us to the vault. And we need to get rid of our jump inertia just as much as they do.
Yes, thank you. I know. So, Mr. Rixel, let me see if I can get this game of yours down. You're You're a lieutenant in a badass company of Royal Marine Guards. The Shelson Duchy's finest, in fact. You're led by this... what's her name?
Captain Ashlyn Aphelion.
Didn't actually care. So you get assigned to protect some nerd who thinks he's found some lost treasure of an ancient civilization. Your captain and the nerd have a little tryst thing going on. You get money signs in your eyes. So this unlikely pair goes all 3 kings in search of said lost treasure. And the good captain poisons a food supply of a cruiser, blah blah blah. Things go bad and you realize that perhaps the captain and evil nerd aren't quite as honest as they seem to be. You heroically ditch them and take all the information available and strike out on your own. Eventually, you realize that it's just not right for one man to have the lost treasure all to himself. With hat in hand, you approach Count Shipsail with an offer, your reputation restored, and a fair portion of the vault in exchange for what's left. Am I hitting the head on the nail thus far?
Pretty much.
Good. Then I call bullpucky on you.
You've said as much.
Listen, Rixel.
You don't trust me. I get that. You are far more clever than Shipsail.
I'd say you're greasing my ego if you weren't correct. What exactly is up with this vault anyway?
Who knows? Professor Stark knew more about that civilization than anyone else. He was certain it was there, and that was good enough for the captain and me. Gold, art, technology, doesn't matter. Just as long as my portion is worth more than a military pension, I'll be a happy man.
Ha! Yeah, aim high.
It's worked for me thus far. You'll have to forgive me, Baron, but I think I'm going to retire for the evening.
Whatever. Don't go conspiring against me.
Wouldn't dream of it, jackass. Board.
Major Mezin, it's
Board. Yes, good to finally hear from you, Tennyson. Are you alone?
Of course. Despite being an imbecile, Baron Galabrax is rather cautious. I found 2 listening devices in my bunk. I had to find somewhere out of the way to send you a communication. Haven't had any alarms go off, meaning that you've managed to stay out of our sensor range.
I'm an excellent pilot. Does he know anything?
He can only speculate, which he is. Things may go bad on this quick. With luck, we shouldn't have too many of these super tachyon jumps left. Once we're at our destination, we'll have to move quick. Ashlyn may have the map, but I have the tools necessary to get us to the vault.
Tools?
Professor Stark's research suggested that whoever owned the vault placed several traps to protect its contents. He curated several, I don't know what you want to call them, tools, keys, devices, to help anyone who had them through. Once we get to the vault, we only need to open it, and we're gold. Maybe literally.
Good. And what of the others?
We'll have to get Novarider and Galabrax to start fighting. With a bit of luck, they'll take care of each other. At the very worst, it won't buy us time to get to the vault before everyone else. The only variable in this formula is you.
Me? Major Zarek Mezin?
Yes, you. Do you really think that I would enter into a deal without first doing some due diligence? Especially on someone with quite the reputation.
One could hope. How about this? I promise not to stab you in the back so hard when the time comes, if you promise not to shoot me in the back when you're aboard my ship.
That's not much of an offer.
But what chances do you have with the others? Galabrax at the very least suspects that you're a team-killing jerk, and Novarider is working with Aphelion, your sworn enemy. Not to mention that you certainly don't have any way out of this once you have whatever treasure may be in the vault. Whose ship are you going to take? Me? I'm only testing my options. I could side up with this Captain Aphelion, or I could just let Galabrax in on the game. He has easy access to those little device thingies of yours.
Except that Novarider hates you as much as Aphelion hates me, and Galabrax would reduce your cut.
See? We're perfect partners. 2 snakes looking for easy prey in a field of hunters. Wait, that's good. Let me write that down.
Right. So I tease you with information and the promise of a big prize. Meanwhile, you play the field, potentially passing off what tidbit tips I've fed you. You tell Novarider, Novarider tells Galabrax, Galabrax tips me. Seeing a chance, Galabrax links you, stand off, things go south with the aid of a little push, chaos ensues, leaving me to take the vault alone with only the big question of escape.
In a field of hunters. Good. Were you saying something?
And I'm telling you, it's weird.
It's comfort food.
It's weird.
Just try it.
Okay, lo mein pizza is pretty good. Still weird.
It's cheesy, salty, saucy goodness.
The hell do you keep your figure with food like this?
Running from every military in the Confederation while chasing down mysterious artifacts from an ancient alien civilization is surprisingly good exercise. Lo mein pizza has good carbohydrates.
So the whole point of you trying to get me in on this insane quest was because you
Wanted to get you to try weird foods no one in the right mind would eat? Yes.
needed me to solve some ancient alien puzzles. Wait, really?
Really, who would put lo mein on pizza, Regan?
God damn it!
Yes, it was partly to get your help in getting past the obstacles where I was missing the artifacts needed. Not to mention, it's been several dozens of thousands of years. Some of the halls could have collapsed, doorways been blocked, or pitfalls malfunctioning. You've shown an aptitude for getting past many of the formerly mentioned. I'm willing to bet that you can take care of the rest.
What about the vault door? Did one of the objects open that?
Several times the librarian,
Dramatic music.
yes, was mentioned. Based on the context, my guess is that he's the key to the vault.
But you're not certain.
It also refers to him as a piece of a whole, as though he's not complete, but I couldn't find any reference to any other parts. I may need some clever engineering to get through the vault.
Clever engineering is more Wrench's field than mine.
The original idea was that we'd have all the time we needed to work a solution. I have confidence in your abilities. Of course, with Rixor likely hot on our tail, I'm starting to see the benefit of getting the rest of the wild horses. Still, it's a shame. Spending a few weeks with you alone in deep space might have been quite enjoyable.
Can't say that I disagree.
You know, you could join me on a more permanent basis. If this treasure is really worth as much as Brandon guessed at, I could use a good accountant as well as a good partner. And I would try to keep the danger to a minimum.
It's a tempting offer. What about Brandon? He seems like he was important to you.
Important is an understatement. Yes, he didn't have the square shoulders of a soldier. Yes, he was kind of a coward. Yes, he was a gigantic nerd. But those were just some of his qualities. I didn't have to be the hard-nosed captain around him. He could be engrossed in a book or his research for hours, and I didn't have to be the center of his attention or vice versa. It's odd to say, but Brandon and I simply fit together. It wasn't his wild passion for the vault. It wasn't some lover's tryst. It wasn't an adrenaline-fueled thrill ride that brought us together. He and I were in love long before we left the duchy.
Yeah, about that. What happened?
You know the basics. Rixel lured us into a trap. I had to make a decision that I question nearly every day. I wanted to lock myself in my bunk and never leave. I just wanted to waste away.
But you didn't.
I had two options, give up or keep after the treasure. If I gave up, I was lost. If I kept after it, I was lost. I chose the latter because it kept me focused, it kept me sharp. And if I had chosen the former, Brandon's memory would have become my hemlock. This way, he remains my love. He remains my drive.
How do you guys get started in this?
I suppose the three of us had our different reasons. Brandon was so passionate for the lost civilization. He wanted to study the culture free from the prejudices or interests of the Confederation. I can't say I knew what Rixor wanted. A new life, fame, something other than the god. I can guarantee that when he lured us into the trap that killed Brandon, he saw only money and fortune. Me? I wanted a chance at a life where I wasn't guarding some fat duke or royal entourage. My father died for them, my mother was in debt to them. All my work, everything I did for them, was worth nothing more than a few medals and a body bag at the end of my career. I've said as much before, but I can promise that I did not poison the Hellion Wing's food supply, sabotage the communication array. Yes. Disable their engines? Yes. My efforts were only to slow them. It was Rixor who poisoned them, who prevented them from even attempting to repair their engines.
Sounds like letting Rixel join you was a mistake.
To say the least, He was intelligent. He was my best lieutenant. I extended the offer to him because I thought that we could use him in searching for the vault. That decision would cost us.
You know, in almost 3 years of running into each other, this is the most that you've ever opened up to me.
To anyone, I'm sorry if I'm unloading on you. It's just a relief to finally talk to someone.
Oh, I didn't say that. I'm enjoying this. It's almost as though you like me.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Do you want to...
Retire to your room for the remainder of the evening.
Regan, settle a bet for us.
Fucking... Of course! Of course, Hollander! I would be happy to settle your bet.
Who's the best Joker?
Mark
Of course, Heath Ledger.
Oh, come on!
See? She says Heath Ledger.
But Regan said Mark Hamill. He was the one you asked to settle the bet. His opinion counts here.
But Ashlyn was also here and brought up a legitimate point.
What point was that?
That Heath Ledger is fucking awesome? Brofist, Ashlyn.
Back at you.
You two are spending way too much time together. She did not say that. Who is the voice? Who had the most iconic laugh?
It's clear that Heath Ledger was far and away the best performance. It was a stunning reimagining of the character.
For a one-time Elseworld story, I agree. For the classic character, no. It will always be Hamill. Ashlyn, where are you going?
There's a debate to be settled here, Regan.
About your offer.
You'll need it here, Regan. I have notes to pour over, calculations to make sure are correct. Do come find me later, though.
I will. Captain, are you sure you don't need any help manning the bridge? Certainly, my essential yet needs to leave old chum. Captain? Whatever, I didn't have a thing there. Go get some rest. We'll need it for when we reach the Exiled Titan. Oh, that's a good one. Let me write that down. Yes, sir. Good. The bridge is empty.
It's about time, Novarider. I thought you were gonna make me listen to that accursed hold music for hours.
Well, since you like it so much, I can put you back on hold.
Don't be such a child, Novarider. I've called you for a business proposal.
You call me for a business proposal? We hate each other, Mezen. We don't do business proposals. We stab each other in the back.
Same difference. Our rescuing of Queen Ophelia took me back, Novarider, to the old times, to when you and I would work for one mutual goal.
Well, my relationship with the Queen.
Whatever. Remember when we would work together? We could take entire marine companies ourselves. We could break dreadnoughts and battleships. No prize was safe from the two of us.
A business proposal, you say?
It seems to me that this feud between Tennyson Vixel and Ashlyn Nephelian is beneficial to no one. They are likely to take anything of value in two fighting each other. It seems we need to eliminate the two of them. Take the wealth for ourselves and split it. Say 50-50?
Rather a basic plan, isn't it?
What?
Well, I just expect more from the famous Major Zarek Mezen.
More? Novarider, what more do you need?
Well, a plan that doesn't suck would be a good start. You're going about this all wrong, Mezen. You are asking me, Captain Farr Novarider, chivalrous hero for the weak, defender of justice, humble master of wallets, to betray a woman.
Damn it.
A single woman at that.
Damn it!
No, Mezen, I'm afraid that in order to get this little deal of yours, you'll have to come at me with a new angle.
And what angle would that be?
Well, quite obvious, really. Baron Edgar W. Galbrax seems to have a leg up on us. He has 2 heavy Confederated cruisers at his disposal. And these are not the typical pushover crews that we used to take apart, Mezen. Galbrax is surprisingly cunning, and with an excellent crew, he's made all the deadlier.
And?
Do the math, Mezen. I'm in a heavily modified frigate, you in a single-man light gunship, against 2 heavy cruisers with a... I can't believe I'm saying this, competent leader like Galbrax? If this Tennyson is aboard those cruisers, then we can eliminate him and Galbrax in one stroke. Ashlyn is quite firmly on our side, no doubt smitten by my muscular physique and intimidating intellect. This means that we would be guaranteed the vault. Just an even split, 3 ways. Joining with me, Zarek, would be the best idea. I'm glad I came up with it.
It wasn't you who came up with the idea. I did.
Cut out of the deal says what?
What? I see what you did there.
Naha! So, Mezen, are you in on my glorious plan, or no?
Very well. It's a good plan, Novarider.
Well, I did come up with it.
And now, about the details.
Yes, I suppose you would want a few useful tidbits. Right. Communication for you, Baron. Oh, at last! Something not boring. Put it on screen, Commander. Sir.
Hello, Baron Galabrax.
Pleasantries, blah blah blah. Who are you again?
Major Zarek Mezin.
Super. Who are you again?
Swab Pirate, Scourge of the Confederacy. One of the daggers of Ophelia, nemesis to Captain Farr Novarider. The other dagger.
No, I'm the nemesis of Captain Farr Novarider, dagger of whoever.
I find that highly unlikely. My good Baron, I reached out to you to unveil a great travesty. You have been betrayed. Your comrade, Danielson Rixel, has struck a deal with me, Major Zarek Mezin, in an attempt to cut you out of the final prize.
Yeah, no shit.
You're not surprised?
No, why would I be? The man is obviously trying to use Confederated resources for his own benefit and gain. He's lied to Confederated officials, been linked to the murder of an entire crew of a Shelson-Duchy cruiser. Not to mention the numerous other murders with circumstantial or direct evidence against him, as well as having several illegal archaeological artifacts in his possession.
Almost as though he were a baron of the Confederation.
Except I'm justified by an out-of-date plutocratic patriarchy. It's okay when I do it. He's just a low-class chump. It's kind of obvious that he would try to cut a deal that removes me from the picture. That's why I bugged his room, to remind him that I know what he's probably up to.
You're obviously a cunning leader, Baron Galabrax.
Points for flattery.
Might I recommend that we join our efforts?
And why would I do that?
Because no one in the whole of the Confederation knows Novarider like I do.
Seriously doubt that.
Do you know that he flips his underwear inside out so that he can wear it 2 days in a row, and that he prefers Cocoa Krispies because the chocolate's milk tastes better than Cocoa Puffs?
Basic intelligence that I gathered about him years ago.
Also, because Novarider was dumb enough to give me certain bits of information about the vault that would allow you to access the riches within and return victorious, thus allowing you to move up the Confederated chain, replacing your count at the very least.
You have my attention.
I recommend a 45-55 split, you taking the lion's portion to ensure your victory.
Deal. Now tell me of this information.
It's quite simple, Baron.
If we can get rid of him, we can keep the artifacts to ourselves. Then all we have to do is use your overwhelming might to rid ourselves of Aphelion and take the key. Yes, ourselves indeed. I'll be in touch, Mezin. Not exactly as planned, but still no less useful. Now to move quickly. Soldier, what's the status of this weapons battery? Sir, fully operational, sir. Good, good. Baron Galabrax runs a tight ship. He does indeed, sir. All the equipment aboard the Pegasus and Perseus is top-notch and constantly maintained. The main swivels, greased in full range of motion. The plasma transmitters, fully operational and flowing at optimal levels. The halogen fluid levels. You don't know the halogen fluid level, soldier? Sir, I'm certain. You're certain? Well, sir, Why don't you get in there and check? I'm not sure. Come on, I'll show you. I know this was in my training. Oof! Seriously, you fell for halogen fluid levels. Whatever. Close the door. Next, set targeting profile. And good. Mr. Rixel, Baron Galabrax would like you to join him on the bridge. It looks like we'll be underway within the hour. I'll be there momentarily, Commander. Now to just be patient. That is what I'm saying. You should go. Trust me, mon ami. You only get an opportunity like this once in a lifetime. The jour le jour, and the other cliches. Why is everyone so vested in me leaving? We hate you. Wait, really? No, I am joking. Fucking French. Rigon, you are my best bud. Oh, tais-toi. Hollandiana, we want to see you happy. Ashlyn obviously makes you happy. What is the worst that can happen? I could get eaten by giant space spiders. You will never let that go, will you? You said they were more afraid of me than I was of them. They are giant spiders. Was I incorrect? Yes. Still trying to convince him.
I appreciate the effort, Leroux.
Wrench.
Right. How did you get that name?
A mutual love of Wing Commander Farr. That he uses wrenches on a day-to-day basis.
It is very true. I do use wrenches. A lot. Well, I'm happy to hear there's a fun and exciting story behind the nickname. It looks like Rosalind...
Hollander.
Of course. It looks like Hollander has us underway. We should be there shortly. So, what did I miss?
Wrench and Hollander harassing me, and then we played Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and then Hollander went back to work, and Wrench harassed me some more.
Best of buds. So not much then.
Not really, no.
You're really not interested in this type of life, are you?
Yeah, this whole adventure thing, not my style. If you gave me the option, I'd be sitting in a cubicle staring at a computer all day, carefully analyzing general ledgers and cost centers, pointing at the white bread soccer mom and smugly announcing, "Here comes trouble!" Leaping from tedious redundant meeting to tedious redundant meeting, scavenging leftovers from meetings of far more important people like a hyena, because everyone knows the accounting department is far too cheap to buy anything more than the shitty sugar cookies from a grocery store.
Mon Dieu, you are boring.
At least my life plan doesn't involve running through a nest of giant space spiders.
Why would you...
Because apparently caramel isn't good enough.
Is he still on about the whole covered in chocolate sauce thing?
Now I'm interested.
We
told you the Cat of Nine Tails was a bad idea.
Is there some footage of this that I could watch?
No, we were too busy with the rubber chickens and the medical gloves.
If this is how you lot spend your downtime, it's no wonder Regan is afraid of any sort of risk.
How do you spend your downtime?
You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Comic books, good sci-fi movies, bad sci-fi movies, the occasional video game.
Hey, the librarian, dramatic music! Can confirm that Captain Ophellion spends much of her free time dancing around the ship in her pink robot underwear to a mix of Queen's greatest songs.
Librarian!
Dramatic music! You may thank me later! Drop mic out!
Little...
I would make fun of you for it, but one, that's actually quite endearing, and two, you would probably just straight up kick my ass.
And don't you forget that.
Hot.
Do you prefer fat-bottomed girls or another one bites the dust?
Actually, Princes of the Universe.
Excellent choice.
Oh, wait a minute. I have something to say.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Holy shit, you're a Highlander fan!
Yes.
That is so
Embarrassing.
awesome!
Wrench, perhaps we should go.
But I was just about to pour a bowl of Chevchelios.
You can eat them in your room. Let's go.
What if one rolls into my bed and it sits there for like 5 years before I find it again and I mistakenly eat it?
Why would you do that?
They are so fucking delicious. You have good friends, Regan.
They look out for me and keep me mostly sane.
So, about my offer. I know you don't like the danger, but...
I can't believe I'm asking this. Can you say that I'm not a fill-in for Brandon?
I don't know. I don't know that yet.
Ashton, my dear, would you be so kind to join us on the bridge? We're exiting Super Tachyon Drive. It looks like your calculations may have been accurate.
Come on, we should go see this Exiled Titan of yours.
Oh, that's good. Let me write that down. Hollander, we need you in the pilot seat.
I'm on my way.
In all my time in space, I've never seen something like this, Captain. A rare sight indeed, Commander Derringer. A rogue giant with a complete system is even more rare. Usually, any moons or satellites are lost upon impact or ejection from a system, but in this case, there seems to be at least 3 or 4 moons still in tight orbit.
And hopefully, one of them is holding our vault.
Ah, Ashton, my gorgeous kitten. We're ready for you to determine which moon is our target.
Quit calling me that.
He can't help it.
Oh, Wet Blanket, you're here too. Librarian.
I, the librarian, dramatic music, am ready to serve.
Interface with the Caballina's AI.
I.
Wait, you named your shipboard AI system I.
Yeah, don't ask.
I've tried explaining it to so many people.
What? I thought it a rather ingenious little name.
Certainly, Captain.
Captain Novarider, Captain Ophellion, I have downloaded the fortress's information from the librarian, dramatic music says, and have begun scanning the moons. Also, it appears there are several signatures approaching the Caballina, sir.
I?
Please excuse my vernacular, sir. We have company, sir.
Well, bad, but it was expected. It looks like Galabrax is likely to make his move.
Damn, I need more time.
Don't worry, my lovely little firebrand. I've made arrangements to ensure all the time we need.
I'm here, Commander.
Good, take over. Get ready to receive coordinates from I.
Yes, sir.
Captain, we're receiving a hailing frequency from an unknown source. It looks to be a third ship we previously didn't know about. Good. Man the weapons station, Commander Dowager. We may need you there if this goes tits up. Hello, Zarek.
Farr, do you have the coordinates for the vault yet?
We're working on them right now, Mezen.
Don't keep me waiting, Farr.
Don't tell me what to do.
My apologies, Novarider, but I am understandably impatient. We are facing 2 heavy cruisers.
Yes, about our deal.
Don't try to renegotiate, you sophomoric wannabe pirate with a silly goatee.
I'm not the one-eyed trouser snake that tried to double deal. Triple even.
What? Ha! I knew you weren't to be trusted, you overrated hack! Damn, defeated by my greatest enemy, the three-way girl.
Indeed. Who's the clever one now, Mezen?
Me, of course.
Aha!
Please, what nitwit couldn't trick Novarider? You seem to be having a tough go at it, you half-sized troglodyte.
Captain Aphelion, I have located the moon. Uploading coordinates to Lady Hollander now.
I've got them.
Good. Full sail, Rosalind. Sorry, boys. It looks like I'm going to be obscenely rich and get the girl.
No, you're not.
TTFN.
Ha! You two forget! I still have the artifacts! The hell was that?
Captain, shots fired. Incoming ballistic rounds. Hollander, evasive maneuvers.
Roger, hang on.
Which one of you numbnuts fired? It was Novarider.
Oh, yes. Clearly I fired on myself with a ballistic weapon that I don't even have.
Major Maxi Fries, you traitorous dick! It wasn't me. I have a full ammunition stock. You'll pay for this, Novarider.
Aye. Give us trajectory telemetry.
Captain Novarider, sir, it would appear that telemetry is sketchy.
I said it was Mezen. He's totally jealous of me.
I'm tired of this pointless bickering. I hold all the carrots. All guns, open fire. Fire barrage. Crap, I just realized it was probably a Rixum.
Hollander, incoming volley from the Pegasus.
I can't avoid it all. Brace for impact.
Right. If anyone needs me, I'll be hiding under this chair. I'm tracking a single escape pod leaving the Perseus. It's heading for the moon.
Rixel, shoot it down.
It's out of range already.
Damn it.
Hollander, flank the Pegasus on the port side. Line them up so we only have to face one set of guns. Dowager, fire at will. Full volleys. Aye.
Yes, Captain Novarider.
Pop us some popcorn. Extra buttery. We're going to need a victory snack.
Of course, sir.
Ashland, come to
No.
my manly arms and
No.
look like you're going to faint.
Absolutely not.
Shut down. Metaphor.
Shut up, Mezen. You're next.
Not if I get to you first, Novarider.
Major damage to our starboard engine line.
Captain, our sail's been shredded. Now it's travel on standard power.
Direct hits on the Pegasus. She's listing, Captain. They've been captured in the moon's gravity well.
AI, or I, whatever. Do you have the exact coordinates of the fortress? I do, Captain Aphelion. Captain Nova, can you break us from combat?
Captain, the Perseus is trying to cut off our escape. Unlikely, my dear. Mezen is on our tail, and it seems like Galabrax is rather insistent on shooting us down.
I have you now, Novarider. Fire full broadside.
Hollander, hold course.
Captain?
Targeting ballistics with anti-fighter turrets. Hold fire. But sir! Wait for it. Now, Hollander, evasive maneuvers.
Yes, sir.
The majority of the projectiles missed, and are heading right for...
Oh shit, Novarider, you asshole.
Naha! God, I'm awesome.
I'm not out yet, Novarider. Yes, destroy each other. And some for you. Ah, you ass.
Commander, if you would deliver the final blow... Yes, sir. Target hit. The Perseus is caught in the moon's gravitational pull. She's going down. Now to deal with Mezen.
Swinging the Cavalino around.
All guns, fire. Direct hit with all weapons. Aha! Good show, wild horses.
I'm yours, Novarider.
Incoming ray beams.
Hang on. We're hit bad. Port engine's not responsive.
Mezen, you sore loser! Trapped in the moon's gravitational pull. Hollander, can you get as close to the fortress?
I can try.
Ashland, grab onto me.
You choose now to be heroic.
Good time as any?
So, about my offer.
I want full crew brace for impact.
And thus concludes this episode of the amazing adventures of Captain Farr Novarider and the Wild Horses! Gentle listeners, join us again soon right here at boundcompass.blogspot.com for the many more adventures to follow! This amazing adventure was conceived, written, voiced, and organically grown by Devin Peters, with sound effects by soundj.com, packtv.com, 3dmmstudio.co.uk, Flash EFX, sounddogs.com, Series 6000 Extension 3, and The General, Supplier 2200, Digifx, Soundstorm Library, Impact Effects 3, Guns, Rotten Oaks, Airborne Sound Library, Matt Temple, The Sound Effects Bible, Triple Crown Sound, File Effects Library, Maxton Soundworks, freesound.org, The Sound Effects Kit, soundscalpel.com, freesfx.co.uk, and Sonic Science. All music created by Bradley Rains, copywritten 2014. Visit Bradley at www.bradleyrains.com. Bound Compass and the amazing adventures of Captain Farr Novarider and the Wild Horses are copywritten 2014.